All right. Hey, what's going on, missioners? Okay, so in this personal year 11, as got out of my bed, I thought about this concept called autonomy. And over the past couple weeks, the universe has been telling me about the concept of autonomy, meaning you have to govern yourself. And because and you get this autonomy from the planet Uranus. You don't get autonomy from Saturn. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. You don't get autonomy from Saturn. Saturn, you get more tradition and rules and concepts and ideas that you have to you have to follow. It's like the system. But with Uranus, you get autonomy. You get freedom. You get innovation. You get um, self uh, you get individuality, but you're still part of the whole, right? And I was thinking about like I finally put it into words, and because I heard it for in the past 48 hours, I heard this um I'm good. I heard this one message over like twice in the past 48 hours. She said, "You are the God you serve. Um, you are God." And that is the ultimate autonomy, that you are God. And to think that you are not God is to destroy your autonomy, because it makes and because in a higher concept, that means that you are cutting off the idea that you are one with the creator, like I said earlier, to be one with the all. So to think that in that yeah that's why I kept hearing that message that you are God. And like I heard it in two different ways, from a biblical standpoint of saying, did the scripture says, be ye not conformed to this world and be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And she also said, is it not foolish to not think that you are, to banish the idea that you are one with the living God. Um, and then I heard Ajna say, when somebody said, do you believe in God? He said, bitch, did I, how do I not believe in God? Is that not, do you think I don't believe in myself? If Why would God be everywhere but within me? I am the God that I worship. You cannot say this in arrogance and say, oh, I am God, but you don't do nothing about it. That's where the Saturn comes in. You cannot say I am God and you don't have no discipline. Um, and it makes me want to go listen to Neville Goddard. And for instance, Spirit told me while I was sleeping, when I was in my sleep, when I was not in my sleep, when I was in my bed. Sorry, the 3 H's of healing. Um, the three H's of wholeness: healing, hunger, healing, hunger, and happiness. Um, Healing, the Spirit was like, what brings you pain? What brings you frustration? What things do you hate? What things bother you? What things have traumatized you? And you have to be like very, very honest about that. You cannot lie. And I would say find a quiet place and really write it down. What things bother you? What things makes you fucking what things make you fucking like stuff that says, shit, why don't I fucking do something about this bullshit? Um, what things make you sad? Um, what things make you depressed? And why? Why do they make you depressed? Where did you learn it from? Right? And then healing, um, hunger. So I had to check myself and say, yo, what are you feeding yourself? What's your mental, emotional, spiritual diet like? And when I thought about that, I was like, when I had a person react to me, and somebody, an Aquarius brought it to my attention that she was triggered, and I knew this, but when she brought it to my attention, it 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 it's incited my idea even more. She said, you talk all this shit about Aquarius, but look at this Libra on your timeline. And I was like, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. I said, she had kids at 14, and she's 41. Her daughter's 26. And I see a butterflies that pass me by, right? So this is a concept I need to master at times. And I thought to myself, of course you would be triggered and angry about what I say about parents, because you had a child at 14 years old. What 14-year-old is looking for the manual, is looking for a book, is looking for what 14-year-old is being prepared to be a parent? You just got some sort of freedom to be who you want to be. You spent almost most of your young years, you spent your prime being somebody's wife, being somebody's mother, being somebody's girlfriend, being in a relationship. You spend most of your life doing for other people, just like my mother. And I get why you're upset and angry and you feel triggered. And she said, oh, you're a hermit, you're an incel, which basically means you're somebody who's interested in women, involuntarily celibate, and have this hateful idea towards women. I said, nah, I'm just from a guy who's not dating, I'm just peeping the game. And I'm like, whoa, why do these women think like this? And I said, have you not experienced any autonomy where you respect the next person if they're doing for self in the best way that they can? I have experienced autonomy and true autonomy. So if I had to put myself in a woman's shoes, and I was like, who cares if he's making $50,000 a year? Your daddy was average, but you loved him, right? Your grandpa was average, but you loved him, right? So why you need this man that you met to make top 10% of money, and you are nobody? You're not even feminine, right? And you don't even govern yourself to be in your highest power of femininity, but you want to be masculine and all these things that of a masculine woman, and you want the top 10% of men. Make it make sense. So when I was observing these women who had these ideas, and even the women that I interact with via social media, I was like, y'all are a dub. Because it's like, do y'all even think outside of the rules that and that's where I understood, like, I have quite a bit of Aquarian energy, where it's like, do y'all think outside of the rules that y'all have been told of marriage, love, sex, relationships, money? Do you think anywhere outside of the box? Or do y'all just say what other people say? And I'm in a position to question, like a child. I'm in a position to question everything, and I'm in a position to ask, does that work for me? Not if I work for it. Does it work for me? And that's a position many people don't get to experience. Does that work for me? Do I like that? And if I don't like it, I can throw it back in the sea. Whether it be girls, money, job, relationships, landlords. If I don't like something, I can just throw it in the sea. If I don't like where I'm living at and I say I want my own space, I could throw it in the sea and be out this bitch. And many people my age, including my own cousins, my oldest cousins, no, not my older cousin, my older cousin, my youngest cousin, we are the eldest of our families. They don't even have that type of autonomy to say, nah, I don't feel like living here. I'm just going to pack my bag and make some money. I'm out. A lot of us don't even have that autonomy. as I walk into the idea of autonomy, I wish I would have walked into it sooner. I wish I wish in this 11 year I would have studied Aquarius energy a lot more. Because there's a true freedom when you understand autonomy a lot more. And I wish I would have took the Aquarian energy a lot more seriously, because I could have exploded on social media if I would have just said, here's my role on this page, here's the role I'm in this page, here's the role I'm playing on this page. And it's not too late, because I can still borrow the principles, but now I'm walking into a year where it's the opposite energy for me of Leo. So I'm not here to just play a role, but that doesn't mean you don't learn the lessons either. Because if you don't master the lessons, they don't go away. And that's one of the ideas for personal years. Just because the year is over, how I see it is like it's like a test. It's like a class. It's like school. Like, just because you go on to the next year, if you don't pass the tests of the previous year, you either gotta retake it, or you gotta do the homework and the reading and the research of of the previous year before, right? Um, and like I said, there's a difference between prepared experience and unprepared experience. So, like, I think when you have autonomy, you really start to see the patterns of your life or what's coming before you, and you get to say mentally, yo, okay, that works for me. How can I mentally prepare for that before it comes? Instead of just having this accidental experience where whatever shows up, and you get to say, oh, da 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 da. And I was thinking about this lady who was offended by what I said about parenting, and I was like, yo, she's just like my mother. She spent most of her life serving other people. No time to herself, no real autonomy. And she took all this baggage on her for years. And I don't have that. I'm the complete opposite, because her sign is Libra, my sign is Aries. I don't have no responsibility outside of myself, and I don't care to share it with my and like I don't care to share with nobody who doesn't really nurture me. Like, I'll give you an example. Whenever I'm with my roommate, I realize she's somebody where she's not the type to take care of you or really nurture, if she don't have it, and B, when you're with her, it's like you gotta have your own autonomy, like, completely. And it's not wrong, but it's just something I've observed. If you don't have your complete autonomy, like, she's not naturally going to make sure you're okay. When I say make sure you're okay, meaning like the nurturer, like, yo, you're with her all day helping her, and she feeds you because you're with her all day. And I don't personally like that. I don't like that. That's not second nature for her, where it's like, I need your help, but what are you gonna do for me? Are you gonna feed me today? Are you gonna make sure I'm okay? And it's no adult's job to do that for you. But when I was around a polar opposite energy, um, I experienced something else, and I liked it. I liked the fact that if you was with her all day and she asked for your help, she fed you. She made sure, you were nourished that day because you helped her today. You know, um, meaning, like, there's an exchange. So when in this personal year of 11, as I understand my own autonomy, yo, I wish I would have took it more seriously, because Aquarius is the year of social media, I didn't take it. I wasn't as locked in as I could have, even though my whole life is is through the not through the filter, not through the social media, but my life is uplifted by what I do and make sales on social media. But bro, like autonomy. Here's the thing about autonomy. Here's the trick about autonomy. That does not mean you get to be lazy. That's the tricky part. Autonomy doesn't mean you get to be lazy. Autonomy doesn't mean you get to have no rules. Autonomy doesn't mean you get to have no morals. Autonomy doesn't mean um, you don't get to take care of yourself. Autonomy doesn't mean you get to take advantage of others. Autonomy, contrary to belief or understanding, autonomy means you have to take such well care of yourself that there are rules, regulations, morals that you follow, and rituals that you follow to make your freedom real. Because your freedom will not be real if it doesn't have rules, standards, morals, um, guidance, disciplines. Like, it's not going to be real. It's going to be like a fake escape. And I think that's why they say Aquarius is the higher vibrational Pisces, right? Because the freedom that Pisces wants, Aquarius has, but they just have the mental discipline to do so, to create it. And they're willing to become anything they're willing to become anything they need to be to acquire this freedom. And I can't leave here until I master autonomy. Because I'm under an Aquarius landlord. And I'm like, autonomy has to be real for me. Now I have autonomy, but I gotta master the concept. I gotta get really, really, and that doesn't have to be forever. But I gotta get really serious about it, because you can't live in your heart if you're truly, and like if your mind and your heart are not connected. Because Aquarius is the mind, Leo is the heart. So your heart won't make sense to you if your mind is not disciplined. And yeah, but this is autonomy part one. Like, autonomy is a serious thing. Um, at least for self-governing, not maybe like the world and the community and all that other shit, um, but for self, it's a very serious topic. Comment yes below for your astrology consultation. Comment yes below for your astrology consultation.